What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the round 11, second last AFLW Game Day squad show brought to you by the Game Day Society and AFL Fantasy Fanatics. As always, Bales, welcome to the show. How was your week?
Yeah, going well, mate. Weekend was not very good, however. Very disappointing. Didn't watch any of the games on Sunday. So if anyone wants to ask me, what did you think of Collingwood Richmond? Didn't watch it. What did you think of Brisbane Essendon? Didn't watch it. What did you think of Gold Coast and Bulldogs? Did not watch it. I couldn't watch it after Courtney Hodder was a late out. Brought her in another fantasy platform, and of course that was late out. Can't change. At least the good thing about last week, you can change if there's laid out. So I was able to change limited sort of options. Charlie Mullins is good. But still, just absolute carnage last week, right? We already had Chloe Malloy, Maddie Gay, who are the others? Piper Window, and there was one other, all sort of players relevant in Game Day squad. Who's the other one? Can you think off the top of your head? I've just had
I'm just thinking now. Who
the four was?
Don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, no, there was four. Yeah, Malloy, Gay, Bree Conan.
Oh, of course, yeah.
The four, right, that people were looking at. Then we get Lucy Wales laid out, and then we get Courtney Hodder laid out. So we had 6 relevant Game Day squad players that people would have had in their squads that weren't playing. And 2 of them were laid outs, and they were like an hour before the game, and some people would have missed them. So shout out to legends in the Discord for letting everyone know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting one. In terms of the week for me, though, and the good thing is, with the Game Day squad update on the app, I don't have to open up each competition and sort by round, go that. It's already on the display, which is brilliant. So
much nicer.
Yeah, so starter, 11th for the week. Not too bad, just outside top 10. Considering I had Ash Maloney's 30-something whenever she scored in the Charlie Thomas. The 2 players I didn't want in my squad let me down. 11th. 8th in Classic, which sounds good, but we'll get into that in a sec. Challenger 23rd and Champion 15th. So a couple of nice packs and stuff there. But Classic was the one that was disappointing. I lost by 0.3.
0.3, you found out what it was.
I had a look on the Game Day squad. They released the actual scores. It was like Skipper's had 20, I can't remember the exact score, but he had 0.6 something, and I had 0.3. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I lost by a point. And Neve McLaughlin getting it, because if people do in the Discord, Skipper's had platinum Neve McLaughlin, I had gold Neve McLaughlin, and it came down to how many points Neve McLaughlin scored. So normally you want your players scoring well. But in this case, I didn't want Neve McLaughlin scoring as well, because I was like, we both got it. I don't want her scoring as well. And she got probably 3-4 touches from what I heard, because I didn't see it last minute. I couldn't watch in the last minute.
I was watching. I was stealing for you.
Yeah, so I'm really annoyed. I could have got to the final 4 of the Classic Cup and got knocked out before the big dance. So yeah, very disappointing. But mate, how did your weekend go? I know that you didn't have much luck.
Yeah. Yeah, same deal as you. Unfortunately, knocked out in this round of the Cup. Not as close as you, but still pretty tight.
I'd rather lose by more, though. I don't want to lose by this little, because you're just like, what could have been?
Exactly. Yep. Nah, so in Classic, came 9th, which normally you'd be very happy with, but when you're in the final 8, you need to be top 8, basically. More than top 8, top 4, probably, maybe even better. So yeah, good result. Pretty happy. Made some bad decisions though, which cost me. So yeah, knocked out of the Cup. In Challenger, 18th. In Classic, I'm sitting 5th overall, which I'm quite happy with. Still pushing for top 3. Challenger, 18th last week, 17th overall. Champion, 9th last week, and 9th overall. But the big one for me was Starter, where I won. Came first for the round, and it put me back on top of the ladder for Starter for the season. So now I don't have to worry about the Cup. Pure concentration on that Starter squad just to get me over the line. 2 more weeks. I've been on the top before earlier in the season. I tried to play it safe. That didn't work because it dropped me down straight away. So I need to find a balance of, I guess, playing it safe as well as, taken a few risks. But yeah, pretty disappointed to be out of the cup. So
yeah. So what you're saying is you're not trying classic anymore. You're going to let me get the prize card in that one, and you're going to get the prize card in the starter comp. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, I mean, the starter comp prize card is the second last pick of the draft, so I will still be trying for the other ones, but I just want that little trophy next to my name on the Discord. Finally, been playing since 2022 when it first started, and I still haven't got one. So, look, if I can get it, I'll be amazed. But yeah, we'll jump into what we learned from.
I see Skip in the chat there saying can't get closer than that. Yeah, mate. Thank you. I appreciate you letting me know again that he couldn't get any closer than that. So yeah. By the way, Skip told me in a message on the night before. I think Mark, I messaged you still. So I couldn't believe Skip did this. He said that he let me know. He's like, oh, how you get we was chatting like how we're going for the matchup. And he's like, I got 5 left, and I was like, cool, I got 6. And I got excited. He lied to me. He had 6 as well. He just didn't want me to change my players. I was like, unbelievable. So I went to sleep on Saturday night watching the soccer football, and I'm like, cool. I'm in a good spot in the Classic Cup. I should win. No.
Mind games, and that's what you have to do when you get this around the cup. It is pure mind games. Thankfully, I don't even know who my opponent was, so they would have got in my head straight away.
You were trying to find them in the Discord. Like, are they here?
Yeah. But anyway, we move on. And first point, what we learnt from the round is, here we go, Corey. He lied to me as well. Skip, just scumming his way to the top. But I respect that, to be fair. So yeah, laid outs are a season killer. Luckily, we caught them, but it's devastating to see those top coaches who might have been at work during the game or something, and unlike us, aren't just scrolling our phones at work. So it is hard, and it also kind of makes those wins feel a little bit less special, if you get what I mean, because you probably, if it was a fair playing field, it might have been a lot tighter. My second point there, which I don't know if anyone's going to believe me when I say that, but there's more to life than the cup. And
there is not more to life than the cup. The cup is everything.
I say that because I think we both probably had opportunities late in the last game to make some rash decisions, which overall probably still would have cost us the cup and cost us further overall season rankings. So cup's great, but it's it's a season-long competition, and we're fighting for those prize cards. So I think, I got lucky because I didn't know who I was playing. Any change I would have made my side worse. So yeah, happy to just take the loss, but still do all right over the season. Next point there is Ned McLaughlin will hopefully be right for the rest of the season.
I like how you say hopefully is predicating on Reece Shaw not moving her into the forward pocket. Just leave it alone.
It was.
Sorry, boss. Yeah, no, mate. It's all good. It's all good. Nothing. I feel like the fantasy landscape is against me at the moment. So I'm hoping that it turns around at some point. But let's see. But yes, sorry. Continue.
Yeah. I think based on her influence last game, you can't change it up now. They tried putting her forward.
Didn't work.
It was terrible. They played terribly. Moved it back. Much better. So if he does it, then it's just out to get your bails.
Yeah.
Next point here is Heath being back and looks like a good, probably the better Melbourne defender pick now.
We flip-flopped between these two, Chaplin and Heath, a couple of times this season. So, but Heath is the one in the midfield. I'm a bit worried about Chaplin now, actually. That's my worry with Chaplin now moving forward with Sarah Lampard in as well. The sort of role changing. Brisbane this week, I don't love. We'll chat about the matchup later. I don't love for Chaplin, but I actually don't mind it for Heath. So.
Yeah.
Mel, I have not reached out to I was about to say Heath then. Reshaw on the socials. yeah. You
Mate, you
might
might
not.
have to though.
You might not want to watch back on the pod a couple weeks ago when I was very, very unhappy, to say the least, of his move of his one of his co-captains.
Yeah. And yeah, the last point there, which I think you're in full agreement with, is that Thomas just has to go. Doesn't look like it doesn't look like it's going to get better. And I worry that I've kept around for too long.
Yeah,
because of the name.
Yeah,
like,
and that probably cost me last week. I should have gone for Shelley Heath. I was interested to play her week first up, but I was like, I just want to wait. But her upside was probably better than Thomas, and her probably floor was higher, even coming back from injury. So yeah, and I guess the other thing to probably add into the review is back your judgment in and don't go with the safer name. Like we both did it. I know Skip messaged me. He did it. We went with the names of Charlie Thomas and Ash Maloney last week, whereas we should have looked at the matchup and gone, well, West Coast said they were going to try and stop Ash Maloney after she kicked 6 against them last time, and they had good matchups for her. That was a bad move to play her over Aileen Gilroy or Charlie Mullins, who I was keen on both. I ended up obviously playing Mullins because of the hotter out. And then with Thomas, we had other options. Erica O'Shea, I mentioned I liked.
Ella Heads I had.
Ella Heads you mentioned as well. So it's like yeah, and you've said before you got to back your gut in more, and I thought that's probably just comes to the fore again last week.
Yeah, and not to dwell on the cup, but back in my gut would have won me the fixture.
Yep, same with me. Yep. We can dwell on the cup. We can dwell on the cup if you like. We don't need to worry about the matchups this week because we're out of the cup, so we're just like,
exactly. No point helping anyone anymore. No, but every other side apart from my classic side, I had Charlie Rowbottom in, and I had a prize Rosebottom. Rowbottom. Sorry,
Rosebottom.
Yeah,
it's almost like Rosie and Rowbottom putting one.
Yeah, Rowbottom, and I was too scared to play her, so I took the safe option, which was Monconti, and then it was devastating. But anyway, let's focus on the last 2 games. Get our head back in it and stick in the prize cards. Looking at the Adelaide Derby, Adelaide versus Port Adelaide. Are you getting to this game, do you reckon? Or
I'll definitely be there. But how dare you call this the Adelaide Derby? Do you not know do you know the proper name for it?
Oh, is it the Showdown?
Yes, there you go. The Derby.
I didn't know if it was the same in this.
You got the Western Derby is they don't like being called the Derby, so Derby. But no, yes, I'll be there. Norwood Oval Friday night should be good. I haven't checked if it's meant to be raining actually, so I really hope it's not because I despise. I'm one of those people despise going to the footy when it's raining, and I'm actually just checking the weather as we're speaking.
I mean that could affect some of your picks as well, really.
Yeah, well, it'll be good for Noffy. Obviously, Noffy loves a tackle. So here we go. Adelaide weather. Here you go. So some weather forecasting for you. Oh, there you go. Friday, partly cloudy, 22 degrees. 80% chance of. It said 80% chance of, and I'm like, what? And it said no rain. Why not just say just 20% chance of rain? Like,
yeah,
stupid. But yeah, so no, interesting game this one. It's going to be interesting to see how Port have played well this year. So I'm interested to see. I think with Lucy Wales out for the season, Matilda Schultz has become a lineup lock. She's there every week. So it makes the thing with Wales out. I think it makes the rucks really boring. It's Strom and Schultz. Rest of that's it.
Yeah.
Which is disappointing.
There's a couple you can maybe target some matchups, but I don't think it's worth it.
And there's one this week that would be that's in my pod list for a ruck. But yeah, it's disappointing. But at least we know that Schultz and Strom are very good options. So Schultz is there. Ash Woodland is locked in. Marinos locked in. What do you think about Goodwin? She lost her role more in the second half as a defender. From a midfielder now playing defence. I'm just wondering, was that because of the North matchup, or did they think, well, if we're going to win, we need to play other players in there and put Sarah back in defence? I'm probably not going to play her this week because of the uncertainty, but the matchup's there. It's like a good matchup.
Yeah, I'm not playing her either because the slide was there before this anyway, so it kind of felt like lucky, I faded her last week. Did you end up fading her or?
Sarah Goodwin, yes, I did. Yep. So that was a good call that I was happy with. I went Carney instead, which I know Skip had Maloney, Thomas, Goodwin, and Wardlaw, who all didn't score very well, but somehow still lost. So, yeah, but no, yeah, Goodwin for me, not this week. Like, it's a big watch to keep it. Don't cross out just yet. I think Gould will be back this week. She's another watch. Don't know if I'd play her this week unless you want to go for a real pod. But yeah, Goodwin's a watch, but probably not playing this week. Are you going to play Ella Heads this week? Because I know that Silver Pigeon said would Heads be a good pick this week. Are you looking at Heads this week?
Yeah, I am, and currently they are in my side. Just that, that Adelaide matchup for defenders is probably, I think it might even be one of the best matchups for defenders. So it seems like decent run last week, good matchup. My gut said to play her last week, and I didn't. My gut's saying to play her again this week, so she's in my side. One thing to note, I don't know if you've noticed this, but Tilda Schultz is actually the highest averaging ruck.
Yes, I saw that. Had a Strom for the season. So, yeah, she's going along very nicely. But that's considering that Strom, I think, outscored her last week, if I'm not mistaken. Not by a lot, but it was close. But it's because, obviously, Wales was number one, but because Shots had a really good game last week, that flipped. So, yeah, no, she's had a great year. She's broken out from being a sort of the tier below the very top to now being in the tier. I think her and Wales have taken that step. It was Schultz, then a Daylight, and then next Ruck. Whereas I think now you got the three at the top, and then you got like an Ali Morfitt sort of just outside.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And then obviously Woodland's probably a lock going forward for the rest of the season. Like window out, perfect situation for her.
Yeah, exactly. Could you play Caitlin Gould this week? She's a test. She was listed as 3 to 4 on the injury report a couple weeks ago. Then she was a test last week, didn't end up playing. So I think she'll be back in this week. Like, you'd think that she'll be right to play if she plays. Port, I think, would be a good matchup for Caitlin Gould, but after being out for a little bit, she's been able to run and everything, but it's just been the risk that's the issue. Could you play her?
Oh, I mean, who are you bringing her in for?
That's the thing, right? Is there's a few forwards there we've got that are good options.
Yeah, I mean, prior to going out, had some decent scores, and we know that historically is a good scorer. So there's, I guess, the confidence there if they're back, but it's maybe a watch this week. Maybe bring her in if she does play and is good. Then bring her in for the last round as maybe a pod.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I think you can go there obviously, but yeah, I agree. I think I'm probably waiting there. So and then Corey just said Doc Clark said that Gould has to get through training for her to play, which I think she will. So I think she'll play.
And then Ryan P's gone for Molly Brooksby as well. Decent score last week, in the 90s, I think.
I think Heads is the one though. If you're looking for a Port defender, I think it's Ella Heads. Just with the ceiling, I think. Although Molly Brooksby takes the kick-ins, but I feel like Heads is the safer play, which I said that with Thomas last week, so maybe you don't want to go there. But I don't know. I feel like Heads is the option. But no, if you want to go Molly Brooksby, she certainly looked good down there.
Yeah, for sure. So I think that's about it for this one. Obviously, North Lock, probably going to go very big. I would be putting some multiplier / if you have the option for one of your special cards. I mean, North generally will be a good option for that, but especially this week, especially even ahead of some of the North mids.
Yeah.
Jumping forward, Sydney and West Coast. So the first thing I want to ask you is, if Chloe Malloy is playing, will you be playing her?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. West Coast have actually been really good defensively this year. I felt they've got good options down there. And I actually think that someone that actually matches up really well with Chloe Malloy in the forward line is Jess Wrench. I think Jess Wrench has been really good. She obviously started the season in the mids. Now she's in defence. And I feel like she's a good matchup for Chloe Malloy. She's got the speed, probably got the strength as well. I still think Malloy's going to go okay, but when you add in a good matchup in terms of a bad matchup in terms of Jess Wrench against and she had a back injury and she's come back. Back injuries can be real fiddly, as we know. I want to watch Malloy this week, and then she looks good. Even if she doesn't score great, but she looks fine. I'll play her probably in the final game next week. But I just think this week, I don't love the matchup for her. So I'm probably fading. What are you leaning the other way? Or?
I'm kind of leaning the other way just because I was a watch and wait for round one, just because, she was a query coming back from injury, missed preseason, came in and just went straight into it. I reckon she's obviously been handling this back injury for a little bit based on, I guess, her scores and her movement. But I think if she's back to play this round, I think she's good to play this round. And I think she'll be better than she was prior to kind of, those rough scores that we had. So at the moment, I'm leaning towards yes.
Yeah, she's definitely someone you can play for sure. She's got the ceiling. She's obviously one of the best players in the comp. Yeah, so I think it's a 50-50 one, right? If you want to play her, I think you definitely can. And if you want to fade, I think you can as well. I don't think she's going to go 120, 130 and really hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think she's going to score like a 40 or a 50 and really hurt you if you do play. I think she'll score anywhere from probably 65 to 85, 90, probably, I'd say, somewhere around there, which I think in the full line with Malloy, I think is fine enough.
Yeah, okay. And then, like, Monham's basically cemented themselves in our forward lines.
The big one for me, Montana Ham obviously locked in, but Emma Swanson did a job on Georgie Prasparkas last week and did a really good job and kept her to a low score. Do we think that she goes to a Laura Gardner, or do we think that Georgie Prasparkas is more of a game-breaking mid at this point, that they just go, Swanson, you're only in there for that role for that week. We might put you in there again when you've got another matchup like that, but we don't think Laura Gardner's that type of player, so we'll just go head-to-head.
Yeah. No, that's... I'm not concerned, I don't think. One, because I think almost everyone's going to be playing her.
Yeah, so you're not losing out if she has like a lower score.
That's the thing. And then, like, based on mid averages, like, so Prasparkas, I don't know if you've watched many of Geelong games, but the way she kind of like just sits outside, and she's always like, I feel like her play style is probably easier to kind of eliminate compared to Gardner. In saying that, could happen still, but I'm playing her.
Yeah, I'm playing her as well. That's something I'm probably just want to. If there's anything about Daisy Pearce saying in the press conference at some point, saying, Emma Swanson's going to be in the midfield doing a job, that will have alarm bells ringing for me and going, okay, Laura Gardner could get a bit of attention. One thing I do think, I wouldn't play Ella Roberts this week. I think she does get a Tanya Kennedy tag, which I know Ella Roberts will just go forward. She'll still probably score fine. But with the fact we've got 5 mids pretty much locked in every week, and we've got there's 3 options I like at M6 this week. And not being Ella Roberts, unfortunately, I think it's a fade.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, it's never play Ella Roberts again. Purely
ever again? You can't say ever. I mean, rest this season. I think
rest of this season, I mean, but emotionally, probably never again. One thing, if Swanson does get a role, last week when she had the role, she scored 92. Well. Yeah,
she's not. Yeah, she's an option. Yeah. On the flip side, I think she is an option if she is in the midfield, because we've seen her score well there in the past. I think she's someone to consider, but it's risky, right? Because if she doesn't have the role, she hasn't scored very well this year.
Yeah, no, that's fair. One thing I did forget to mention at the start is this week we have the prize we're going again. If you're following along the Discord, I've posted a picture of what you can and will win if you're lucky enough. Plenty on there. Packs, cards of all rarities, even got the chance to win a Elite 10 pack. Less chance than everything else, but still on there just for the thrill of it. But all you have to do is get in the chat, post along, ask questions, answer questions, whatever you like. As long as you're in there, Mel's taking notes, and you'll get your name on the board. So yeah, unfortunately, Bales, you can't get on there.
Oh, that's fine. That's all good.
Now, we'll jump through to the next one, I'd say, because unless there's anyone else you wanted to talk about, I don't think we need to talk about Thomas, do we? Just
no, not doing it. Ellie Morfitt has a right to consider if you want to go for a pod. I think she can score well against the West Coast Rucks, but we're probably looking at...
I think that negative 4.92 is a bit of a misleading one.
Yeah. I just think the matchup, I think Morfitt will go quite well there. Yeah. So, yeah, one to watch.
Yeah. No, very good. All right. Jumping ahead, we have Essendon Hawthorn. Now, it would be the Wales sisters going up against each other, but unfortunately, conflicting information as always in AFLW, but sounds like Wales is out for the season.
Yeah.
But the injury list says they haven't disclosed it, but then I've seen reports that she is out for the season.
Yeah,
so.
she is, that sort of thing. So she's out for the season. So that opens up the ruck position at Hawthorn. And Jess Vukic is out with concussion, who would have been someone that could have replaced her. We saw Mackenzie Eardley last week go into that role and score very well. Didn't have a lot of hit-outs, but had 11 tackles and looked good. I've currently got her in my side.
Wow.
Currently sitting at F6. I think that this... I think Steph Wales is a decent enough matchup for Mackenzie Eardley in terms of she'll get a few hit-outs, but she scored... What did she score last week? It was over 100. It was like 115 or something, wasn't it?
Was that Eardley?
Yeah, Eardley. Yeah.
105.
Oh, okay. About 10 points.
That's great, though.
Yeah, 105.
Still definitely take that.
Great as a forward. And that was against Matilda Schultz. So, tough matchup, and she scored well. So, I think Steph Oz is an easier matchup. Not an easy matchup, but as a forward, I think this is a definite play. So I'm currently on board. I don't have a bronze, so I don't have her in starter, but I'm going to start her in classic.
Yeah, I haven't, but now that you've pointed that out, I probably will, because that's a huge jump from what she's been doing all season. She's been sitting around the 30s to 50s, and then last week change of role 105. That's basically as obvious as you can get.
Yeah, and looking at it, and if people sort of wanted a bit of a representation of what her stats were last week. So last week she ended up having the 15 disposals, 3 marks, 11 tackles, 8 hit-outs for a 105. So I do like her a lot as an option, and I also like her teammate there as well. There's a few Hawks we've considered for last few weeks, but Aileen Gilroy is the one that I'm pretty keen on as well as an option. So last week she ended up scoring 109, kicked 2 goals, 17 touches, 3 marks, 5 tackles. I'm very disappointed because you know me, she was someone I was heavily considering at F6. And I actually had her in with about an hour to go over Ash Maloney. But I ended up going, no, I'll go the safer play because Ash Maloney will probably at least give me a 70 or an 80. I should have backed in someone that I was keen on in Gilroy. So I'm disappointed. But we live and we learn. Well, you don't live and you learn in fantasy, but you try and do better moving forward.
Yeah.
And it will still cost you somehow. That's what happens.
That's the thing. Every week's different. So you learn, but then next week it goes against you. For me, obviously there's 4 or 5 Hawthorn forwards that are kind of all around that.
Laura Stone, Anya McDonough, Greta Bodie, and then obviously Aileen Gilroy and not Tilly, just Rod, they're a defender. Who was one I forgot? Eardley, Mackenzie Eardley. Yeah. So we've got the 5. So you can definitely start any of them, not all of them, but any of them you can definitely start.
Yeah, for me it's McDonough. I think I like the most purely because
over Eardley.
Oh, sorry, for this round specifically, Eardley. But I think out of the other options, I think McDonough sits ahead of
ahead of Gilroy?
Even ahead of Gilroy. Just because I think McDonough has a better floor.
And matchup's pretty good for forwards for the Hawks this week.
Yeah. So I'll be playing at least one of them. Normally, I kind of stay away from them just because I can't decide which one to pick. But this week, I think I'm going to commit to at least, probably a couple now. So Madonna and Erdley. So any Essendon, too good. Disappointing week last week. Had her worst score from a full game. Any concerns at all, or was it just the matchup for you?
I'm not too concerned. Bonnie Too Good still a star, and I'm still pretty confident starting her week in, week out. I think with Maddie Gay out for the year, just they'll have that reliance on Too Good if they're down for her to go behind the ball and get around the ball. So she's got a high floor. I think she's a weekly starter, and I've got her in my lineup once again, as I always do. So, pretty keen on her. I think Georgia Danscorn is also a potential option in the midfield if you want to go for another option. I've got three other names ahead of her though, of ones I'm considering at M6, but she's one of
Danscorn's probably should be dropping off people's radars at this point, just because
I think Hawthorn's a good matchup.
Yeah, Hawthorn's a good matchup, but her scores are just kind of before, first half of the season, she was way ahead of Maddie Prasparkas. And then I feel like they've kind of closed the gap a bit, and now they're sharing a few more points. And now they're both kind of sitting around that 110 mark, which, she obviously has the, ceiling there, the potential, but I worry that you're using up, like you said, you've got people ahead of her, but I would be scared using one of my mid slots on someone who could be scoring, I guess, probably sub 130 really you're looking for with, the potential. But could be a good pod.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's probably it from that game. I reckon we covered all of them.
I think so too. What about Steph Wales coming up against no one? Obviously,
it's good. Yeah, it's good matchup, right? It's a good matchup. I just the problem. So there's the two matchups, right? Is this one, and there's another one we'll chat about in the rucks. I just don't know if they've got the same ceiling as a Schultz and a Strom. Because Schultz and Strom, they've got the ceiling, but they've also got a very high floor. They don't go below 80, 90 points many times at all. I think Schultz has it. So I think Schultz might have done it once, potentially. Strom hasn't done it yet. So for me, I'm probably wanting just to play those two. But if you want to go for pod to make up ground, Wales is definitely one, along with someone else we'll chat about shortly.
Yeah. We'll push on to the next one, which is Fremantle Richmond. Look, Ms. Rom is what are her numbers? Let's have a look. Her lowest score is a 92.
Yeah, and last week was her best score, I believe, for the season, if I'm not mistaken. Second highest score. So excuse me, 140 was her highest score last week, going 134. So still a very good score. And if you had extra salary on, great. You would have got a 150, 160, 170 type score. I think she's locked. I know that Richmond, it says tough matchup there. I just think Poppy Kelly v Strom. I think Strom will go well in this matchup. So it's one of those ones where you look at the matchup and it's hard, but I think it'll suit Strom as well at the same time. The one thing that Strom has struggled with this year, she hasn't struggled to still get the ball. She's still got the ball. She's still got her marks and tackles. It's the hit-outs for me that have been the problem, is that the first half last week, she was actually level pretty much with hit-outs with Eilish O'Dowd, who loses most hit-out battles because she's more that extra midfield around the ball, and Fleur Davis. Whereas in the last quarter last week, I think she won 13 to a combined 4 between O'Dowd and Davis, which is more like the Strom that we know. So I just wonder, did something click in that last quarter that is that maybe a sign of things to come? She didn't have a disposal in last quarter last week, but she still had a good quarter and obviously ended up scoring quite well. I just wonder if maybe Mim Strom's about to end off the year like she did last year with some real big scores.
Yeah, I think that we don't need to think into it too much, because if you have a player, I think, if you're playing, say, Classic or, Contender, where you have the variation in what kind of caps you're playing, like salary you're putting into players, I think obviously stack your midfield first. Then after that, stack Strom. I think she's the next best kind of, ceiling and floor player. So
yeah, agreed. Kiara Bowers lock this week. Matchup is great. She wasn't great last week up until 3/4 time. Then had that big last quarter. I think this is a matchup that'll really suit Bowers in the midfield. I think she goes well. I think she's locked into our midfields. I'm still holding faith with Monconti at the moment. But there are two other midfielders that are looking at that M6 spot and are challenging for that. I'm just backing in Monconti as the player. The matchup, it says it's not good on paper, but Freo have given up points to mids. I could see Monconti. She's too good a player to have back-to-back stinkers. I could see this being a big bounce back because of how poor she was last week. So I think she goes well. The pod that I've got is in defence, and she's on the screen. Emma O'Driscoll is currently who I've got because that defensive matchup against Richmond is really, really good. Look at what Tony White's not a defender in GameDay squad or any other fantasy platform, but she's playing in defence, and she had a great score last week. I think GameDay squad, she would have scored well over, I think, over 110. I'm not sure exactly. I don't know if you've got the score there. I know you've got the stats page open there, so you might be able to find it for us. But she had a good game.
I'll have a look, see if I can find it. But yeah.
Yeah, so I've got her as my D7 at the moment on my bench.
Yeah, I don't have her because I've gone for someone else because I'm trusting my gut this week, which probably gives away who I've picked. But anyway, what about Brennan? Had some decent scores, I think. Was it two out of the last three? 2 out of the last 3, she's gone above 90.
She's been a premium for us in the past, right? She's been someone that we've looked at and whatever. It's just Richmond aren't as good as previous years, meaning there's not as much service. But the matchup's good on paper. I've got other mids, but again, if you're on a pod, I think she's someone to look at. Do you have that Tani White score for us as well?
I'm grabbing it now. It should be. Here we go. 120. So yeah.
Yeah. So great matchup. Emma just hasn't got the biggest ceiling. She's not going to go 140, but I think she can put up a 90 in a good matchup. Maybe even crack the ton potentially. So I like her as a pick in defence. Gab Newton's in great form. I think she's someone, if you want to go for a pod that's scoring really well, she's someone there. There you go. Pity played KB when Hodder was a laid out. So because I reckon he had Mullins already in his side. So yeah, I went for Mullins, but yeah, no, that was a good pick. I think she went 90, Brendan last week. So
yeah, no, very good. Yeah, I think that's about it though for this one.
Yeah, Megan Kaufman potentially a forward if you want to go for someone as well.
Yeah. Now Brisbane Melbourne obviously laid out last week carnage with Hodder. I haven't seen. I think she's a test maybe or a to be confirmed, one of the two on the injury list.
Yeah, test, yeah.
Yeah. Do you bring her in though, even if she is playing based on that?
If she's playing, I'm starting her.
Yeah.
Just because of her ceiling as a forward, she's shown that ceiling. I think they downplayed it because they don't want to make out like they were resting her for no reason, right? She apparently she had a tight quad, did it the captain's run on the Friday, got worse on the Saturday, and then they ended up just pulling her out on the Sunday. I think with a few days rest, again, I'm not a doctor, this is pure talk, speculation. I think she'll play, I think she'll be fine, and I think we start her if she plays. That's how I'm looking at it. But if she's not there, then obviously, yes, look for other options. Charlie Mullins, I'd be keen to start as well. I just don't love the matchup for her this week compared to others.
But she just looks so good. Her role last week.
It's great. I think she had CBA or two towards the end as well.
Yeah.
So she looked great. The Melbourne matchup for me, she won't get as much of that easy ball that she did last week. Well, from what I'm told, because again, I didn't watch the game. Maybe I should go back and and watch it, but that'll open up scars of Courtney
No,
Hodder.
I think move on. Yeah.
But yeah, I think she's someone that you can consider for sure in the forward line. I currently don't have her at the moment.
Yeah. Now jumping over to Melbourne. So we've got Chaplin and Heath. Do you have room for both? Do you pick one? What are your thoughts?
You can pick both. I've got one, and that's Heath at the moment.
Yeah, I think that's the same with me.
But it's weird though, right? Because Chaplin was so good for so many weeks, and the role was great. And for some reason, they just keep stuff around. Like she has the first CBA, and then she goes out. Like doesn't make sense. Yeah. Just put Shelley Heath in there from the beginning. Like just it's a bit just trying to get cute for cute's sake, or is that the saying? I might butcher that one, but whatever the saying is, but we'll go with that. But the matchup is horrid for defenders. I think it's the worst matchup for defenders against Brisbane. Yeah. So that's probably why I'm not starting. Whereas for those that are looking at the Heath matchup and going, well, the midfield matchup is worse. Like it's like point. Was that what? Like that's too small. Right, I got to zoom in here.
It's point. It's negative.
Yeah, 0.14 difference between the two. I just think this is a matchup where I could see Heath having 12 touches but 10 tackles and scoring well. So I'm starting it.
Yeah, and the tackles looked good last week for Heath. Like obviously he had it was a wrist injury, I think, wasn't it? And then or hand maybe, and then coming straight back in, tackling fine. That's the reassurance I need to pick her.
Hodder and Heath actually remind me they're very similar players in terms of when someone has the ball and they're around, they're getting tackled. So like you see Heath sort of just run like just crazy if someone's got a ball just to tackle. Yeah. So yeah, I think she's a very good option.
Yeah, no, for sure. Anyone else from Brisbane? I'm just trying to think. I don't, matchup slightly good for midfielders, but I don't think Ali Anderson's someone we should be thinking about in the last slot.
No.
And then
Kate Hall was probably the other one you're thinking of.
Yeah, and again also.
Yeah, I was just going to say I think I'm out on Kate Hall as a mid option for the remainder of the season. But the one thing I would say, right, is I'm not playing Ali Anderson, but cast your mind back to last season in this corresponding fixture. So that matchup was at Casey Field. This one is I believe it's at Brighton Homes Arena, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Brighton Homes Arena. This game last time, Ali Anderson, 43 disposals, which was the then record, 6 marks, 7 tackles, and she scored 161 on the AFL app. So I'm trying to convert that quickly with the extra points for kicks.
Was that a 200 plus score?
Yes, it would have been because she would have got the obviously 28 on top of there. It would have been in the 190s, I think. Not quite 200, but it was a massive score. So just someone that I don't love this week. I probably wouldn't do it, but she did score really well against them last time. So
yeah, and she looking at her last 5 rounds. She's gone basically 120 every game. There was one game where she hit 99 round 7, but every other game is basically between 116 to 132.
Yeah, she's consistent, right? So you know what you're getting. So if you want to go for her as a pod, you could. But I think I've got a couple options ahead.
Yeah.
Lon Conti probably being one of them.
Yeah. All right. Going ahead, we have Bulldogs Geelong. So, is this the ruck pod that you were talking about by any chance?
Yeah. If you look there, ruck, matchup against Geelong, Green. It's a great matchup for Alice Edmonds here. The only thing that is the reason I'm not playing her is because Schultz and Strom are so good, and it doesn't matter what matchup they have, their ceiling's so high. I think Alice Edmonds scores well, but I don't think she's got the same ceiling as a Schultz or a Strom. Like, I don't think Alice Edmonds is going to hurt you very much unless Schultz and Strom both go really bad, and then they both scored 90s, and then Alice Edmonds scored a 120. I probably think 120 is probably where I see Alice Edmonds as a ceiling in GameDay squad. I don't know if she'll go over just because she doesn't get enough of the ball. She could set a hit-out record here if it's a high stoppage game.
But still maybe score 50 points from 50 hitouts.
Yeah.
That's the problem with her. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want a pod in the ruck, this is it. This is the pod. If you're going there, it's Alice Edmonds. I just don't think I can do it ahead of Strong.
My worry about Alice Edmonds is last week she was against Gold Coast, which probably should have been a semi-decent matchup for her as well, and she only managed 59 points.
That was a tough matchup though, because Lauren Bella was playing. It wasn't Taylor Gregory, so that's the Gold Coast matchup for rucks is very weird. It depends on who is ruck there on any given week. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll give it benefit of the doubt then, but still not playing her. But she's
the only Bulldog I'm considering. I'm still not looking at any other Bulldogs. They're just
not tempted by. There's a lot of talk about Wilcox.
Nah, like Wilcox is a great player and she scores well. I'm out on the Dogs. Like they don't score well as a fantasy team. That none of them have really got the big. They don't have big ceilings in the system they play. Like we know Blackburn and Pritchard and even Goodneck has shown games at times, and Wilcox can score well, but not in the way they're playing at the moment. They're just pretty much moving the ball forward. It's quick movement. I just don't think I'm looking at any Dogs besides Alice Edmonds being the only one. But even then, I'm still not playing her.
Mm-hmm. The only not only, but the annoying thing for Bulldogs is that we saw Blackburn score 146 a couple of weeks ago. So it is there. It just doesn't happen. Yeah. So yeah. Now Geelong forwards, touchy subject. Are you now burnt from playing him? Do you think the lineup, the matchup's not great, considering Bulldogs playing all right?
Yeah, I've actually currently got Ash Maloney sitting in my forward line still, because I think she's going to bounce back. Mm-hmm. That was her worst game by far, right? Yeah. She had removed that game. She only had one other really poor score, which was against North Melbourne, which you can be forgiven for having a poor game against North Melbourne the way they're playing. Every other team, she still managed to score well. So I feel like I'm backing her in because I feel like she'll respond. She'll want to respond after not getting near it and Geelong losing. So, it's a tricky one, right? Because it's one where you're looking at the matchup, it's not great. Ash Maloney's just such a different player, though, to most forwards. I think I'm playing her still. I still like her upside on any given day, but I couldn't blame you if you looked at the matchup and looked at last week and gone, no, she might even be a pod this week.
Well, that's what I was just thinking. I think a lot of people.
I'd be surprised if she's probably again, we don't have top sort of numbers for top 50 in GameDay squad, but I would be shocked if she was over 50%. Just based on tougher matchup and what she scored last week. But I think she could still be a bit like Monconti. I feel like they're both very good players. I think they just respond after really poor games. But, yeah, if you're looking at the stats, it's not a great matchup.
No. And anyone else, Parry probably would be the other one. But last couple of weeks has been pretty underwhelming. So I think Maloney is definitely the pick of the Geelong forwards. But yeah, I think Georgia Sparkus is it's so frustrating because
she's just such a good player. It's not quite. It was pre-season. She was amazing against Gold Coast.
Yeah,
but obviously we know Gold Coast is a good matchup. It's just she doesn't have the outside game just yet in terms of getting those marks, but that'll come. I'm sure that will. She's a very good player, and you can just see that. It will. So, just not quite yet. So I just think, it's a fade again. Yeah.
All right. We'll crack on. North Melbourne versus St Kilda. Now, as you can in the middle
what is this?
Got a little graph. So this is the Wardlaw roller coaster.
That's good. I like that.
I've graphed the scores, and as you can see, we're on for a big score this week, which I don't think will be the case against North Melbourne.
So is it it's going to break? It's going to break it. It's going to break the streak.
I don't know. I guess technically she just needs to go above whatever it was last week.
That's crazy that she has not gone better or worse the following week. It's just been up, down, literal roller coaster. So
yeah.
But yeah,
she just has to beat a 58 though, so she could still keep it going and disappoint us.
Yeah.
But
The matchup, you're not playing her against North Melbourne.
No,
It's the worst
no.
matchup for forwards. It's the worst matchup for anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that, minus 2.63 for defenders, minus 5.4 for mids, minus 7.46 for rucks, and minus 7.63 for forwards.
Yeah.
So it's just like there's only the only St Kilda player I'm playing is Serene Watson, because I think there'll be a lot of kick-ins for her this week.
That's what I'm thinking
and
too.
She takes every kick in. I'm not sitting here saying St Kilda are going to get walloped by 10 goals, right? Like North Melbourne could do that. That's what they're doing to everyone, but they're still going to have a lot of the ball, a lot of scoring shots, and Serene Watson will probably be relied upon a lot to do that. And I think the worst thing is that St Kilda just had a game where they had so many injuries coming into this game. Beckhott's out; she won't be. I think she's out for the season. Nikki Zenos and Georgia Ferguson, the same incident, both ankle injuries, so they're both uncertain for this week. Darcy Guttridge also went off injured at some point, was wounded out, and they've got other injuries like Ash Richards and all that are out. Bianca Jacobson, so yeah, it's a tricky one. But St Kilda are playing well, so it's going to be interesting to see how they go. But yeah, I think this game is very, very interesting because you don't want to play any Saints besides Watson, I don't think. But on the north side, we've got alarm bells. You mentioned in the Discord chat early in the week. Darren Crowe coming out, and it's no surprise, right? North Melbourne have locked up top spot. They're in the finals. That they're going to be potentially looking at resting players, either full game rest or in game. I immediately went to, I think Emma Carney's rested this week. I don't think she's playing. I think
do you think she's rested before, with lineups, or do you think she's a laid out?
Oh no, if she's rested, she'll be out. I don't think it'll be a late out, but we don't know, right? We'll have to see. But I think this will be the game she misses because Hawthorn's a bit of a. I don't know if they want to have her missing the week before the finals start. Maybe they want to refresh this week, have the hit out next week, and then go into finals with a game sort of there after a week off. But I could be wrong. Maybe it is the Hawthorn game. I don't see Jazz Garner or Ash Riddell getting a full game rest. I just think they're both up there with probably the best and fairest award, and maybe they're not going to look at that at all. Maybe they just rest them and they go, we don't care about individual awards. It's all about winning another premiership. But I think they'll both play. They're probably not going to have like the 80%, 90% game time and go 160 or whatever. But you're starting both, I think, unless they're ruled out. I just think it's too risky to go against them.
Yeah. Now, what about some of those North Melbourne forwards that potentially...
Yeah, I struggle to pick who it's going to be. Is it going to be Baheen Bogue? Is it going to be Talia Randall? Is it going to be Kate Shiel? Or is it going to be Alice O'Loughlin? I feel like Baheen Bogue's the one I'd almost play out of the four. Like, she's the most exciting to watch. She scores well, but they're so good forward that they don't rely on one person. Like, you look at the top goal scorers, Jazz Garner's right up there, Talia Randall's up there, and Bogue's up there. So, yeah, I'm probably not playing any, just because I think they all score about 70, pretty much all of them, and none of them go bigger than that, unless one of them gets off the chain. But then, who is it going to be? So, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to start any. But Erica O'Shea I'm interested in. The matchup's not great, but she does get quite hot at the ground. If what we think is the case, Emma Carney's not going to play, I'm pretty keen on Erica O'Shea. Would you be on board, particularly if Carney's out?
Yep, that is my plan. I think if Carney plays, she's playing. Well, actually,
I'm probably not going to start her even if Carney plays, to be honest, just because I think if she plays, she's still going to be managed a lot, and the matchup's not great.
Yeah,
that's my worry.
She's
probably because the low game time, it just caps her. It means that she's probably not going to go more than 90. She'd have to have an insane game in the limited game time she plays to have a good score. Whereas I think Erica O'Shea is not someone that's going to be rested as such.
Yeah. No, that's a great shout. Yeah, I think I've just made this up in my head already. I think I currently have Carney on the field with a plan to swap out if she's not named to O'Shea. But you're right. There's no point in playing her because if she does play, they're going to reduce her game time. So yeah. No, this is why I watch the show. Yeah, but other than that, I think St Kilda, we've talked about it. Watson's about it.
Yeah, sorry, Matt. I know you're a St Kilda fan, so you probably don't want to talk about the.
Look, the thing is, we're doing all right. Like that's
Yeah,
the thing.
considering the injuries, playing well.
Yeah.
So
It's just all right. Cracking on Carlton GWS.
This is not a fantasy relevant game, unfortunately.
No.
More mainly just because Giants, a bit like the Dogs, any game they're involved in is low scoring. Carlton don't have a lot of high scorers.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
Goldsworthy.
I think it's Goldsworthy, and that's it. I don't.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anyone I'd look at. I don't think. Like Dana Finn's there. If you want to go for someone,
I think
like, the matchup's not good for Harriet Cordner.
Just the one that I maybe would be looking at is Josh Garnett.
I thought you were going to say Tony Evans. I feel like every week you say I'm looking at Tony Evans.
I do say that.
Yeah.
And now I've jumped ship because Tony Evans is kind of...
So you heard it first. Anyone out there that's looking at saying Tony Evans, starter because Mark's gone, nah, not looking at this one, looking Garnett. So Tony Evans going to have the best score of the season.
Yeah. Otherwise, like, I think
it's
all right. But
I think you probably stick. I think we could probably go to the next game, to be honest, because
I think you're right. I'm just stretching it.
Yeah, so I think we are, because we've talked about the other games a while. I think it's unfortunate that's probably not one there. So final game of this one, didn't it? The round.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, final one. So Gold Coast, Collingwood. Now this is, as you probably guess, where my M6 is going to be coming in.
Yes, and this is where my two other favourite M6s are residing.
Yeah. It's the same, actually. Well, so Roy Bottom, is that one of your options?
That's one.
Yep.
And then Britt Benici being the other.
Yep.
Because this is a great matchup for both, right? I know that Collingwood, it's minus 3.85 points for mids. I feel like Collingwood have got a few injuries. I think Charlie Roy Bottom can go really well here. And then on the other hand, the Gold Coast matchup is very good for Britt Benici. So I think in the mids, I think we're still locking in Marinoff, Riddell, Garner, Bowers, and Gardner. If we hear that anything of it, I'm partly almost hoping in a way that they go, oh, we're going to tag Gardner, because then I can go, cool, I can play two of these three. Whereas I feel like I've got to make the choice between Conti, Rowbottom, and Benici, which is incredibly hard. So if we look at the scores from them leading up to this, so Charlie Rowbottom obviously had not a great start to the year with 3 scores in a row below a ton, but then had the injury, was out for a week, came back in round 5 and has gone 104, 173, 105, 119, 134, 127. So not quite the Charlie Rowbottom levels that we're used to, but still very good levels, right? So she is there. Then you look at Mon Conti, we obviously spoke about before, and if you remove that game that she had last week, she's been consistent again every week. 130, 123, 139, 137, 137. Had a 69 in round 6, then 100, 179, 127, then a 76. So she had a couple of low scores this year, but if she goes well, she goes well, right? So I guess the risk with her is if she goes poor, she goes poor. So, and then look at Britt Benici here, who, again, this year has had a very good year. Like Conti, she had a 74 in round 4, and a 84 in round 7. But outside that, 156, 114, 137, 131, 113, 122, 127, 135. The last 3 sticking out to me. Do you how would you rank the 3? Because I think this is probably the hardest question to answer. Yep. How would you rank the 3? I'm
playing Rowbottom. But that's
so Rowbottom based
1. But that is based on the cards I have. So
okay, so let's say you got bronzes for all of them. So it's starter. How are you ranking them?
I think I have Benici 1.
Benici 1, yeah.
Yeah, and then I think I worry about Conti's floor. But like you said, unlikely. She's likely to bounce back. The problem is, watching the game, I didn't really see any reason why she would have such a bad game.
Which is why I'm thinking it was just an off game. That's why I'm thinking that.
Yeah.
I've got Conti 1, Benici 2, Rowbottom 3. But then having Rowbottom at 3 it feels weird because I still like Rowbottom as an option.
Yeah.
This is why we need more midfield spots in GameDay squad. It would make it so much more interesting because we've had the same 5 locked in every week, and it's like that last bench spot. Whereas if we had 6 midfielders on the field and maybe put an extra ruck spot in, that would spice it up as well. So Cal, Tom, if you're listening, maybe an extra ruck spot, extra mid spot. Then it'd be a bit more appealing because then you get 6, 6, 6, 2 rucks, and that. So,
all right, I've got a better question for you then. Say one of the North Melbourne midfielders are not named,
and you'll start 2 of the 3.
Two
You
of
got
the
to drop
3.
one.
Yeah.
Well, based on what I said, it's probably Rowbottom that misses out of the 3. But again, I think that Rowbottom could easily go well. So
yeah. So I think I had Conti last out of the options, but I think I would pick her just because this is the last game of the round.
That doesn't marry up. What's going on?
So hear me out. This is the last game of the round. So if there's a late out and I'm playing both Rowbottom and Benici, I'm screwed. If I'm playing one of them, easy, swap them out, done.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's like what people would have done with St. Alien Gilroy last week and Charlie Mullins. You played Alien Gilroy, hot as a late out, you go to Mullins. But if you went Mullins, you had to go for a different pod. And because there is a realistic possibility that the North mid is rested. Yeah, it's something to consider. It's a very hard question. Let us know in the comments. We don't normally ask for like sort of the opinion on sort of like a head-to-head in the comments, but let us know in the comments how you guys would rank the 3, because I'm really keen to see what people would do with that.
I think it is a clear 3 though. Like those are the 3 that only 3 I'd be considering.
Yeah.
In that last spot. Outside of the midfield,
Leave McLaughlin locked.
Yeah. I think that's the safe thing. Watching last week, I was so like, it was conflicting because I knew that you needed her to do bad, but I thought I needed to do well because I knew I had her and I had no idea what my opponent had. Made no difference in the end, but
I think everyone ended up starting Neve last week, I reckon. So
yeah, it's a lock now for basically everyone, which then probably takes away the risk anyway. But yeah, what about Barnett? Bit off.
Again, I didn't watch the game, Colin game, but from what Tom was telling me on our pod on Sunday and Liam, they were saying that Barnett actually went forward in the second half and Frederick was the number 1 ruck. That's happened twice this year. It happened against the Dogs and it happened again last week. Barnett's been great. Barnett's been great outside those 2 games. So, like, you think the matchup is decent, and if she did play forward, the matchup's great. The only thing is, if you look at, and Liam made a very good point on the free kick pod as well. If you look at it, Barnett scores a lot of her points by getting behind the ball. She doesn't actually score very well as a forward, regardless if the matchup's good or not. She's not someone that's going to just take these pat marks and kick 3-4 goals. She'll get back in defence and take somehow pat marks and intercept. So I felt there's just too many questions that I'm not starting it this week, regardless that the matchup is probably good and she might go all right. It makes you nervous because you're not quite sure what's going to happen.
Yeah. No, I have also faded her this week. Because last week it should have been a decent matchup for her, I think, as well, wasn't it? So it was tough to watch, but then I think it was probably a low risk one where almost everyone would have played her. But apart from that, I think did I have anyone else on my list? Lynch. What are your thoughts? As a bit of a pod.
Well, I've been scarred too much by Kay Lynch in the past and in fantasy. But she's been good. She's an option. If you want to go for a pod as well, she could be someone. I don't know if I could trust 2 Gold Coast defenders in my side. I feel like one is more than enough. So probably not for me, but for the Brave, she could definitely be an option because she scored well in the 2 games that she's played so far.
Yeah, I think it's a bit too much of a we don't need to be making that decision. Like, yes, there's a few defenders that have probably burnt us, but there's still enough to kind of take a decent pick without too much of a risk.
Yeah.
Uh,
I see Silver Pigeon said so he'd go Benici, Conti, and then Rowbottom, only because he doesn't have any Rowbottom cards. But this it just made me think, I wish that Rowbottom's last name was like Ron Bottom, because then he could have gone Bon, Con, Ron. Like, it just would have been cool. But yeah. And then what was it? Corey said Benici, Rowbottom, Conti. Pity said Benici, Rowbottom, Conti. So yeah, looks like a lot of people saying Benici first as number one.
mm-hmm.
I can definitely see why. Obviously, the matchup's great. So
Yeah. No. Well, that wraps up all the games. So now I think it's our pods. So these are my pods. I don't know if Heath is actually a pod anymore.
she won't be, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah. So Evans, we talked about definitely probably an unnecessary pod. But if you're needing to make up some points and you're banking on one of the big rucks going bad, that's basically the only reason you do it, because I don't think that Edmonds gets above what we're expecting from the other ones. We're just hoping that they underperform. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, Heath, I think is, as we mentioned, Brisbane, not the best matchup, but I think it will still favour, their play style. Rowbottom for me, I had her in last week, I think, and I think she's starting to kind of get back up to that Rowbottom that we know, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's at least a 170 before the end of the year. So I just don't want to miss that. O'Driscoll talked about as well as defender versus Richmond, and then the last one I got there, I think Chloe Malloy will be a pod if she does play, and I think she could hit that 100 plus score pretty comfortably. So yeah, what are your thoughts?
No, I like it. Yeah, I would have had Edmonds in my pod list as well. I would have had O'Driscoll as well as a couple of others. We've pretty much touched on a lot of them anyway. I think Mackenzie Elliott will still be a pod because not a lot of people look at it. She's not in the top of the list with averages there, so you could go there as well. Yeah, so there's a few good options out there to definitely go for pods this week. How many do you want? Caitlin Gould being the other one as well if you want to go for someone that's coming off a bit of an injury. So yeah, a few options for coaches to consider.
Beautiful. All right, so we'll go into our squads, and my squad already is different to what I've shown you here, and it is quite a bit bigger. So finally, I can show you all my classic side because I don't care if anyone knows what I'm playing anymore. But as we mentioned, I've got Mullins in there at the moment, but will probably come in for Potter. And then obviously we talked about the Hawthorn forward line, switching that around. The one I don't love is Ellinger, which I don't think we actually spoke about her.
I don't think we did, but I still think she's a good option. I've currently got her in mine as well, just because there's a few question marks over a few other defenders.
Yeah, and the other thing I've just noticed is I've been playing around with this a lot, and as you can see there, I do have two Melbourne defenders. Chaplin will be the one to go though. Heath is the preference, obviously, and yeah, Rowbottom in the midfield there. But yeah. You haven't got your side sent through, but any changes, anything?
Yeah, because I was making looking at the team and making changes. So I'm just sharing the screen for people to have a look at it here. So that's how I can't looking. So again, I've got my classic side up because I don't care because I got knocked out anyway. So it's not going to matter anyway. I'm just hoping I can hang on to a top 3 spot and get a prize card. But yeah, that's pretty much the rarities probably don't come as a shock either, so I'm probably not really keeping any cards close to my chest, right? So, yeah, defence is sort of fairly set there as well. There's a couple options I've looked at, but there's a few options I'm not as sold on. Midfield hasn't changed for a while. Obviously, Conti could go to one of those other couple like a Benici or a Rowbottom. Rucks are the same, and then forward line as well is been the same for a while as well. Mackenzie Elliott being the one on the bench that's that pod in the ruck that she could go quite well, and I do like the matchup. So, that is the current squad. So I reckon we get into these this spin the wheel and see what prizes we're giving away.
So thanks again for Mel in the comments, just keeping track of everything, doing God's work in there. But we've actually had, I think, the most entries we've ever had. So we've got.
I see that. Yeah, I feel like the chat tonight's been a lot busier than normal.
Yeah. So, and I'll make sure the sound's turned on for you, Bales.
Thanks, mate. But so I was thinking, like, because we did the show at the same time as last week because of the trade period that we went an hour later. So I wondered, do people maybe?
Yeah.
So.
All right. Let's
Ready.
Thanks. Enjoy the advertising that's shown up there. But everyone is on the board. So we're going to do the prize wheel 3 times. So no pack openings today. Just the prize wheel.
Well, have you got the elite pack like in the account, and
Yep.
if someone gets it, or have you got the code?
No, I've got the code. Well, I will have the code. I'll sort that out for them. So, Matt.
Congrats to Matt.
That will tell me in the comments. But Maxi, number 1. Well done. And
You do the 3 winners now, and then you'll do it all separately next on the win. Or are you doing the other wheel now?
No, I'll do all 3 now, and then we'll do 3 spins of the wheel.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
So I've got Maxi first. I've got a pen because just type it down somewhere.
There you go.
George again every week.
I feel like when George wins every week, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. There are people here that would not have got like one, and they're probably always on the other side of the wheel, and George gets it every week. Yeah. Congrats again, George, not having a go at it. Like, just
got to be here to win it.
The luck's on your side. You take it when you get it.
Yep. And final result here. It's a few new names I've never seen on here before, which is great.
And there's another regular winner, Anthony.
I mean, it's rewarding the consistent viewers, which I like. So, Anthony, coming up 3rd.
See, there are a few people that I'd see a lot of familiar names in there that tune in a lot, and don't know if I've seen them much get the reward. So we do apologise to those that continually don't get it, but it's the wheel. Wheel does funny things.
All right, so this is
look at that little sliver
wheel
next to the common 9-player pack.
There is a chance. And this is out of my pocket. This isn't. So this is a thrill of it. I love it, but it's also terrifying.
That's mate. Credit to you. That's very much a generous gift. If it's have you bought the pack that's in there, or are you just hoping that doesn't pop up? And then if it does, then you'll buy it and then give them the code.
That's basically what will happen. Okay. Otherwise, if I have the code for the pack, there's zero chance I'm not opening that. I have no self-restraint, so I can't keep it.
So you've got the code. So you've already bought the code. Is that what you're saying?
As in, I will.
Or you will buy it.
I will buy the code.
Okay, so you're now hoping that doesn't come up, because then it's like that's because they're how expensive the pack is. But,
but it also.
But then the thrill of like who gets it, and then
exactly right, and we're rewarding the regular viewers, and there's only 2 episodes to go, so may as well go big. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Great point from Mel there. Packs aren't removed from the wheel, so there's a chance I could be giving away 3 elite packs here. Very slim, but it's.
Could you imagine?
All right, let's shuffle the board as well, just to prove that it's not rigged. So Maxi, up first.
Right, here we go.
There's some decent prizes on here as well. So Platinum Stream Watson.
That's a good one.
That's a great card that could slot straight in this week. You know, a lot of sides. Basically,
you can go in your classic, challenger, or a champion, whichever one you're playing at. So, congrats, Maxi. Serene Watson.
Beautiful. Get that off the board. Next up, we had George again. So I'll shuffle it again just to prove it's not rigged.
George is getting the elite pack, isn't he?
Yes. There's a couple of memberships on here as well. We've got the Stat Lab membership.
Oh, the Stat Lab, yeah.
Oh, let's come around. Oh, Bronze Defender Collection. So this is basically 1 bronze.
Starter.
Yeah. So it's the tops. It's basically bronze of the top 6 defenders. So
okay. That might be useful if George doesn't have any of those.
So we had the starter packs on there, but then they're not that great because there's so many cards in there.
Yeah, see, it's almost like you've made this like it's like bronze defender
Yeah.
collection. You'll give the top 6 averaging. Yeah, no, I like it. It's good.
Yeah, and like basically everything on this wheel, I would play at some point I probably have played at some point this season. So it's not like I wanted to make sure the prizes were actually good.
Yeah, man of the people. Man of the people.
All right, and last one here for whoever it was. Who got the third one? It was Anthony. That was it. Oh,
All-Star Thomas.
I mean that's
like I still think that All-Star Thomas is a good player to have in your club.
Mm-hmm.
But at the moment she's not playable. But I say not playable. But if you don't have any All-Stars,
yeah, like the math probably still works out better.
She probably goes okay, but you're probably not looking there at the moment. I was hoping that part of it would get like you'd give away All-Star 2 got an All-Star Whore, like the 2 on the outside of the elite pack. I was hoping that one of them would pop up just to get the thrill of like, oh my god, it's gonna come up, and then.
All the cards on here, I think the All-Star 2 good is the one that I didn't want to give up, just because that is a card that I'll be consistently playing every round, and these aren't dupes. That's a card that I would not be able to play. So that wraps it up, everyone. So congratulations to our winners. Final?
I like that better. I like that one better. Of the spin the wheel, you get better prizes for the viewers. I like those ones.
Yeah, I do miss opening packs though, but I think you get a better outcome. In terms of any final pieces of advice for the round, only 2 rounds to go. What are you telling people?
Probably not much more to add, really. We've gone through all the info, and it's probably just the same as every week. Just get your lineup set. Make sure you if you can. I know like life gets away and you can't always be on your phone, but if you are about to watch a game, just check the Discord. A lot of legends in there that post all layouts. Keep on track on Twitter of any changes, because layouts hit last week, and I don't know if it's going to necessarily stop. With how close we are to finals. So North Girls, potentially there could be rests. Just watch out for that. And you can find me at Bells DT on Twitter and across the socials, and us at AFL Fantasy Fans on X and Fantasy Fanatics wherever you get your pods, and on YouTube as well. So if you want to go along and follow that, then make sure you do, because I think we'll be doing a pod next week or so recapping the men's trade period. So that'll be relevant for obviously other fantasy platforms, but also for GameDay squad, because we chatting about all the players that moved. So we'll be chatting if we like them for their prospects for next year or not. So check that out when that drops. I'm sure everyone's signed up to GameDay squad already. But Bells DT code, if you haven't signed up yet, use that. You get some free packs. Mark, where can they find you across socials?
Yeah, so GameDay_Society. Make sure you give that a follow, because there's going to be a bit coming out on the GameDay squad football side of things, especially now the AFLW season's starting to wrap up. A lot more attention is going to go into that. With the cup starting in the football, we're going to do a cup bounty over on the channel, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. The GD Society on X and GameDay Society on YouTube. Make sure you give the videos a like and a follow if you can, if you like this stuff, just because it really helps us out. But yeah, that does it. So we'll leave you guys to it. Make sure you do set your lineup. Friday first game, isn't it, Bales? I'm not telling.
Yep, showdown. Yep, first game on the Friday. So usual time. I think it's the usual time. I believe it'd be. I will just double check that for everyone there to make sure that it is, but I believe it would be 7:15 Australian Eastern Daylight Time, and that seems to be the case, I think.
So it's 6:30.
Oh no, sorry, that's different. Yeah, so no, it's 7:35 Eastern Daylight Time. So it's slightly different. So that's what's that? That's 50 minutes later than normal. So interesting. Maybe daylight savings. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah,
but you guys wouldn't know anything about that up in Queensland. About daylight savings.
It's biggest con. Get rid of it, I say. Beautiful. We'll leave it there. So thanks for watching, and best of luck to everyone, especially maybe not especially, but especially the 4 people in the cup that are left. Getting tight.
Yeah.
Catch you
Have a good week, guys.